Jets fans, it's time for tonight's three-star selection. Tonight's third star from the Nashville Predators, number 33, Victor Arvidsson. Tonight's second star from the Nashville Predators, number 35, Pekka Rinne. And tonight's first star from the Nashville Predators, number 9, Philip Forsberg.
Jordy, we have to stop meeting like this. I got to tell you something. 120 minutes of hockey have been played in this building, and the Jets have one goal to show for it over that time span. Logic in this series is just crumple it up, throw it over our shoulder, because there's no logic at all what is going on here. Jordy Douglas, Jamie Thomas with you, the Jets TV Live postgame show. The Winnipeg Jets fall in Game 6 of this series, 4-0 to the Nashville Predators. And it's another one of those nights where we're looking at each other going, how much credit do we give to Nashville in this one? Because in Game 4, they take the lead, they sit back. This one, this time around, there was no sitting back, was there?
No, we talked off air, but they kind of, I think, catch the Jets a little bit on their heels in the first period. I think Nashville played as good a first period as they played. They did it up-tempo. They did it with speed. They did it with a forecheck. They had the defenseman pinching. I think they caught the Jets off guard. They were in on them all the time, creating chances, scored in the first minute of the game. Yeah. get that momentum, but they didn't sit back. And I think everybody thought, well, they'll play defensive again. They'll jam up the middles. Right. They didn't. They kept coming. They kept coming. And for the game, for the whole game, they really raced the Jets to the puck. They won puck battles. They were very active with sticks in their end, in particular in front of their net, so the Jets didn't have clear opportunities. They really kind of beat the Jets at the Jets game, which was up-tempo and speed, and they did it with some physicality, and they just kept, again, getting that puck out. They didn't let that puck stay in their end very long. Rene made some timely saves when necessary, and the Jets, let's be honest, just could not get any momentum going whatsoever.
You have the momentum on your side because you're in a clinching game. You're one win away from the conference finals. Yeah. Vegas is waiting. You have Timo Solani in the building. And when he went, listen, Howardchuk and Thomas Steen got a huge ovation in Game 3. But Timo Solani, for whatever reason, and I'm not taking anything away from him, the guy was here for 4 years. They sure love him here, don't they?
Oh, do they ever? And a proud ex, Jet or alumni, and he comes in from Anaheim to watch this game, and everybody's waiting. Again, we talked about it last time, Jamie. Everybody's waiting in this building for something to happen. Let the get the juices going, the volume going, and Nashville did everything in their power to stifle the Jets at every opportunity. We can count on one hand the really good chances the Jets had tonight. There weren't that many, and that's a surprise. They've been so successful in this rink all year. They've generated all kinds of chances, all kinds of goals. And not tonight again. It's just like Vuja Day all over again.
Yeah. 7-4 in Game 3, and all the momentum that was built from that one. You think a high event game, as Paul Maurice has described it throughout this series. It has not been high event hockey here at Bell MTS Place. And I want to start with the power play. When you have 3 power plays in the opening period and don't generate much, how much momentum does that take out of your sails heading into the second period?
Well, it hurts them. It would hurt any team. I mean, you're looking for, power plays are the opportunities to make a difference. Those are the chances you're going to get. Let's be truthful. You don't get a lot of them usually. So those are the type of opportunities you get to change, the complexion of the game. How your team's playing. Yeah. So you want to have a good power play. Oftentimes they say, even if you don't score, but you generate lots of chances, you can get a lot of momentum. It can carry you on. But the Jets weren't even able to do that. I mean, once again, Nashville does a terrific job in their end of the ice. Their sticks were so active, and they were in the Jets' face all the time. First period in particular. Second period, the Jets rebounded. They played their game to a great extent. They had a good period. Yeah. But Nashville was already in that mode. They were already in your face. It made it really difficult for the Jets. They did it with speed, not with sitting back. And the power play, they were in their face again. And every time that the Jets put the puck in to get some pressure, Nashville kicked it out. When
you see a team lining up across the blue line the way the Predators do, when they're shorthanded, when you're a coach, and I'm sure Paul Maurice is looking at this, and Jamie Compon, of course, who helps coach the power play, they want the hard rim around the boards, right? Or is that what you're yelling for if you're the coaching staff?
Well, I can't speak exactly to what you want to do, but I'm a believer of you take what the team gives you, what your opposition gives you. So if they're standing up at the blue line, then you've got to get the puck in, but you've got to get in on it. Yeah. We talked about that last game where the Jets would get the puck in, but they had no speed to the neutral zone. So, once again, Nashville got the puck and got out. So same type of idea. The idea is to get it in deep, rim it around, and catch it up on the other side. But if you watch Nashville wingers and defense, they were cutting over there already, making it difficult. Yeah. So, again, sometimes you have to take what they give you, but if your strength is wrapping it around, whipping it around the boards, then you've got to win those battles, and that didn't always happen tonight.
When you see, traditionally the Jets certainly like to set up Patrick Laine on the half wall for that one-timer, but the second that pass even goes, the puck starts going over, there are 2 guys heading at Laine. They are completely taking that away from number 29 with the man advantage. I will say this, the Jets did have 2 glorious chances. Peter Stastny on a beautiful setup from Blake Wheeler on the Jets' first power play, and it was just a great toe save from Pekka Rinne. Now, Stastny didn't get all of it.
Correct. And that's the issue. That happens so quick, folks. It comes out of the corner. Wheeler's very good at, finding the open man. He had time to make, surprisingly, in that situation, he had time to make a play. You give a good player like Wheeler an opportunity, he's going to find the man. He found Stastny in front. And because it comes underneath the Nashville defenseman who's sliding, I think Stastny picks it up late, but he gets a little bit on it. But you're right, not enough to push it underneath Rene. And I think he gets another whack at it. But by then Rene's square to Stastny, and he's able to cover it up. But that was a great play. It just didn't happen. Let's say bang bang quick enough.
Blake Wheeler leading the Jets in assists in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So speaking of the captain, let's go inside the Jets dressing room for his comments.
Like, what makes that team so difficult to play against when they've got the lead in the playoff game like that?
I think they're just difficult to play against. They're a good team. I think the team that seems to take the lead in this series has done a good job playing in front. Just made it difficult. Their goalie made some saves. We can be better.
Was it more goalie tonight? Because it seems like you guys were handling their trap better. Is there more to take confidence from in that?
Yeah, I think we were simpler coming through the neutral zone, but overall, that wasn't our game. I mean, it was a 1-0 game, regardless. You know what I mean? Stas was right on the doorstep. Guy made a great save. We had some good chances. Shef had a nice one in the slot there. Obviously our power play is a results-driven power play. We're used to going, getting at least one. If we get 4 chances, it just didn't go right tonight.
Like, does preparation for Game 7 change at all for you guys?
Why would it?
Nothing's gone, and if I told you at the start of the year you have a chance to go on the road and play Game 7 of the conference final, what would you have said?
I would have given you a big kiss. Kiss, not a lick. Let's be clear.
Blake, why has home ice advantage meant so little in this series?
I think it's just one of those things. I don't have a great answer for you. I don't want to take away from anything they've done or anything we've done on the road. I just think it's just the way it's been. They played a good game tonight. Got out to that lead, and it's just tough. It's just tough to come back. We just couldn't find a way to get that first one. I think our belief was if we were able to get that first one, we were going to get rolling and come back in this game. We just couldn't find a way to get the first one.
So based on what you've done there so far, how do you feel about playing in that building in Game 7?
It's a great environment. It's almost as loud as you can get in the league. Got a little trouble for that, but it's a great environment. Like Weeb said, if you would have told me that we were going into Nashville to play a Game 7 to go to the conference final before the season, we take that all day. We have nothing but to be excited about that opportunity. Great atmosphere, great building, great team, everything on the line. It's going to be a great night.
He's been really good. I'm not taking away that from him, but he's a good goalie, and I think everybody knows that. But we just got to find a ways to put a couple pucks behind him, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Shouldn't the puck get Arvidsson in Maurice's direction rather at the end there? Is that just frustration? Tough game or anything more than that?
No, I just chipped it in the corner. That was pretty much it. I don't know why somebody would try to hit somebody after the whistle. So, yeah.
Check what becomes, sorry, probably answer sorry, but just what becomes the focus for Game 7 now on Thursday?
Just winning. We just gotta do whatever it takes to win, and I think everybody's gotta realize that now. It's pretty much do or go home. So it's exciting, and we just gotta be all checked up for the game, and I think everybody will be.
Sorry. Oh no, you're fine. Everyone was done except our series, and I think everyone expected it. Right? Everyone from the outside, I think, when 2 of the top teams from the league are playing each other, I think. I'm sure that's what people wanted was Game 7, and that's what they're going to get.
Paul, when you look back on this game, 0 for 4 on the power play, is that maybe what you'll think of as the missed opportunity here?
No, I think the power play probably just a microcosm of the way we played. I think we're just probably weren't moving as well, weren't as sharp as we wanted to be, and then you could say that, but then again, the one Wheels feeds me, I just missed on empty netter. If that goes in, it's a different story. So it's just sometimes. It's a great pass. I almost don't see it till last second, but it was just one of those nights. But we'll we'll watch video on it tomorrow, forget about it, kind of learn from what makes us good, and we have 2 days to get ready for Game 7.
Can you put your finger on why maybe? I mean, you talked last round about the killer instinct that you guys had to knock out the Wild. Did the moment maybe catch up with you guys a little bit?
No, I don't know. I think this series has been pretty even. It's been kind of back and forth, and sometimes just like you said, sometimes if you put your foot off the gas a little bit, you think it's going to be a little easier. It's never going to be like that, and just another learning experience for us, and you grow from it.
When you've played in the Central for a long time, I've seen Pekka Rinne play pretty well before. When he raised his game tonight, he was better. When you see him play like that, what do you think as a shooter? How do you solve that?
Well, I'm not a shooter, so I don't really think all goals to me are the same. I think you got to ask the pure scorers, but just like anything, I think to get goals, you got to get goalies moving. You got to create traffic, get second chance opportunities, and very very few times will we beat them straight up shots. I think both goalies, him and Helly, are kind of the same way. Sometimes whether it's a rolling puck that gets in, or it's whether you create a 2-on-3 3-on-2 where he's set and you move him across. So all these goalies, I think, especially if they're set and they have time and it's one-on-one, you and goalie, there's a good chance they'll stop it.
Paul Stastny of the Winnipeg Jets has had a point in every game in this series up until tonight. Of course, the Jets losing 4-0 to the Nashville Predators. The series now tied at 3. Game 7 of the series will go Thursday in Nashville. A decent starting time of 7 p.m.
Yeah.
From hearing Stastny's comments, what did you think?
Well, it's interesting. He's talking about Pekka Rinne, and they're trying to get. Again, the comments about 4 power plays and the opportunities, but he makes an interesting point, which is very true. To score on these guys, you've got to get them moving. You got to get them sliding back and forth. You've got to get them not to just be square at the shooter. And what we saw tonight, he was square all the time. There was not a lot of side-to-side movement of the puck. So his saves, I think he said it was 34. He had 34 saves tonight. He made some very timely ones. He had to make a couple of very good ones. But if you think about the game, folks, there wasn't a lot of back and forth across the crease, getting those opportunities where he's moving and create holes and opportunities. So pretty efficient game for Pekka Rinne tonight.
Full credit for the Predators and their sticks. Let's go back to the Jets dressing room. Here's Tyler Myers.
They gotta win on a big game. We weren't quite up to our speed, our normal speed, and 3-3. 2 best teams in the league. We're not too worried about going to their building. We're going to come out and play our game.
Playing game 7, have you played one before?
I have, yeah. It's exciting. It's going to be a lot of emotion, and we expect both teams to be at our best, and it's going to be a good game.
Emotions tonight, Tyler. Do you think the moment got away from you guys a little bit early?
No. I thought our first was good. Maybe wasn't our best. They got a fortunate tip early, but the rest of the game we just we weren't quite up to our normal level, and we have a chance to win a series again going into their building. So we're excited to get Game 7 going. Have a good couple days here and get ready.
Is it the power plays that will stick out to you as the missed opportunities?
No. What was the trouble for us on the power play would have been true 5-on-5. We were trying to fit a lot of things into the game and didn't move particularly well or move the puck particularly well on those. But that was the 5-on-5 game, not just the 5-on-4 game.
A couple of guys were saying similar things. They're saying just wasn't their night. What do you see as the reason for that? Do you see any of the moment and what was at stake creeping into their game?
You know what? I don't know about that. I know this. I know that Pittsburgh lost tonight. Pretty good team. They learned all those lessons you're supposed to learn, killer instinct, all the words that'll come out today that we didn't get, and they lost. I know it's playoff hockey. So for all of the good things that they did tonight, it wasn't their last game. We were a pretty good team. Probably should go 7 games this series. Right? It's been back and forth, up and down, so it's probably right that it's going 7. There's lots of stuff that we didn't like. the idea that you're going to put your game out there and it's going to work every single night because you won the last one, well, then we'd have a whole bunch of teams going 16-0. There's lots of stuff that we can do better tonight. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we look the way we want to look in Game 7.
Paul, 4 road wins in this series. I mean, no one's shocked that you guys would need 7 games if you talked before the series.
Right.
But 4 road wins in 2 tough barns. Anything in that, or is it just the way it's played out?
There's probably a simplicity to the games that have been won. You know, we most of our best offense never got to the net. So good sticks on them. Great job blocking shots. We need to get a little faster, a little quicker. I know that you guys get tired of hearing me say that, but it's the foundation of what we do. For whatever reason, we'll work hard at finding those reasons. For tonight's game, we didn't have that. I mean, the first goal is a clean pass coming out we can't handle, same as the fourth, right? It's or the third rather. It's a clean pass coming out. We know we can make those plays. They were good. You know, they had good sticks. Didn't give you a lot of room. Spent an awful lot of time in their end without a whole lot happening for us. So they get credit for that. They were good there. We're gonna have to be better at that.
You'll coach your team technically on all those things you just talked about over the next couple of days, I'm sure. Will you coach them, you know, mentally? Will you coach them in approaching a Game 7? Will you have veteran guys help the younger guys? Does any of that go on between now and then?
Yeah, but every day since September 15th, right? Like this isn't, well, hey, let's really try hard now. It's Game 7. I get it. It's frustrating. It's painful, right? You're right there. It's an elimination game, but there's an awful lot of 7 games, fellows, that have happened over the history of the National Hockey League, and somebody was 3-2 in every one of those. So they were good on the road. We were good in our last game. It's going to be a hell of a game. You know, we want to win it just as bad as they do. We want to play a game that looks like our game to do it. Okay.
Thank you. Let you know tomorrow.
Sorry, I got caught off guard here. I'm just listening to Paul Maurice on the Twitterverse right now, so I'll cut him off. A little bit of a delay on that one. I'm caught up, but I do appreciate a lot of things that Paul Maurice said. Throughout this year, the Chicago Blackhawks were not a very good hockey team in terms of points. They did not make the Stanley Cup playoffs, but they were kind of like the Jets' Achilles heel because they have good sticks. Yeah. When you hear a coach say good sticks, when you run into a team like that, how hard is it to get done what you need to get done?
Well, it's incredibly difficult. Tonight was a great example. Nashville had great sticks in their end of the ice, and they blocked a ton of shots. So what it's really saying is they had all the the lanes covered. They had all the passing lanes. They had all the shooting lanes. They had everything covered that needed to be done. Mm-hmm. Well, you got to move a little bit more then. Jets have to, and we've heard Tyler Meyer say, we heard the coach say, they weren't playing their game. They didn't get their feet moving. They didn't get skating. That's the foundation for this hockey club. So as much as they, as Paul Maurice said, had activity in the Nashville zone, they didn't have enough activity to generate offense or good offense with the sticks and so on and so forth. So there's a lot more that has to happen to get yourself those opportunities. You've got to get those guys moving. We talked a minute ago about moving Pekka Rinne. You need to move a goaltender to get a chance.
Especially at that size.
Big man. Same with shots. You got to move. I know the fans yell and scream when a shot doesn't happen. It's a pass. Well, folks, there's no lane there. You can't. You're going to hit the guy right in front of you. So not everyone is a seeing eye single to the net. So Jets have to move the puck better. They have to move better on the offense, and those active sticks. Yeah, you got to get around them. You got to get through them. You got to make better plays, better passes. It's all the finite little things that make a huge difference.
Going back to we were talking about the power play before we went to the locker room, and of course from Paul Maurice. There was another power play when the Jets were down 2-0 at the beginning part of the third period. Now Mark Scheifele was set up in the slot where he has owned on the man advantage in this series and throughout the playoffs. He fires that shot wide. That shot in any other game in the series goes in. That's just the type of night it is, right?
Sure. That ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, They did exactly what they had to do. They put it exactly where they wanted to get the shot. They took a great shot. I mean, Scheifele can fire it with the best of them, and he misses the net. I mean, that happens. That's the reality of competitive hockey or any sport. He wasn't trying to miss the net, but it did, and it rattles around. So he'll be better next time. He knows. These guys, they don't like missing the net. Come on, we watch Laine. He gets really upset when he misses net, and Scheifele is. That's a golden opportunity, and folks, you don't get a lot of those in a game, especially a game like tonight. So that'll be different next game.
It's not so much odd, Jordy, when I can understand people's frustration. you have a golden moment here. All the fans are packed in the building. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's 30 degrees outside. It's the perfect setup to move on to the next round. But Paul Maurice has always been very good about pointing out the obvious here. The Nashville Predators are a damn good hockey team. And it's amazing how quickly people forget when you take a lead in the series and momentum just goes away from each game to each game. And yes, it would have been a great story for the Jets to move on, but now pretty much I don't know too many other people would think this series wasn't going 7.
Well, you know, again, you know, Tyler Myers said it. I mean, if somebody, or no, sorry, I think it was Blake Wheeler said, if you told us at the beginning we'd be playing Game 7 for the you know, to win this round, they'd take it. I mean, they have that much respect for each other. They're the two best teams, literally in the Western Conference, if not the league, right? And so they know what to expect from each other. They're giving each other the best they can, and it's going to end up 7 games. From a fan's point of view, that's exactly, you know, that's the money shot. That's exactly what you want. And Paul Maurice makes a, you know, the captain obvious comment, and we forget this. A lot of teams are 3-2, and they don't. It ends up going 7 games. I mean, there's a lot of 7 games. These, you know, they're down now to, well, now they're down to 6 teams left, really. But in the NHL, you've got the best teams, and one of these teams is going to move on, and it's going to be a crying shame that one doesn't. But that's the nature of a 7-game series now.
I wish you guys could see a guy I used to work with at Sportsnet, Sean Colville, is a camera guy I used to work with. He's giving me the judging look, standing off on the side there, like a not so proud father. He's trying to intimidate me here, but I will not be intimidated. This is my building, Sean. So just go over there. Yeah, I'm talking about you right now. Yeah. Welcome to Bell MTS Place, Sean Colville. As we move on here in the Jets TV Live post-game show, Jets fall 4-0 to the Nashville Predators. Now Game 7. 2 days before then, you know, most likely they're going to practice tomorrow and travel on Thursday, or maybe not practice, or Wednesday, sorry. But now it's all for the marbles. It's all the fun begins. I thought more than just one of the final 4 series would end up going to 7 games, but here we are, Jets and Preds, the last one standing.
Pretty exciting, actually. You know, we're all going to be glued to the TV on Thursday. Both teams can use the rest. They've played fabulous hockey. I think Nashville, their defense in particular, can use the rest. They ended up using primarily 4 again tonight. Yeah. You know, so this is all about, you know, resting.
I'll just stop you, Jordy, there for a second. Let's go back to Matt Frost Media Center. Here's Preds head coach Peter Laviolette. Sorry for being rude.
Against the wall, what do you feel like your team's performance exemplified about the group that you have in that dressing room?
It was a good hockey game. I mean, I thought our guys played strong. We knew Winnipeg was going to come hard. They're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to get somewhere. But I think you always try to say the right things going into a game like this, like we're confident and we're, you know, but our guys truly were. I mean, I think just from the way we were built, from previous years, last year, certainly this year, in this group in particular, but there's been a lot of guys in there for, you know, a few years. But there's been a lot of work that's gone into this to make you feel like you're ready for a game like tonight, where it's an elimination and you know you have to win in order to be successful. And I think our guys handled it really well.
Why was the penalty kill so successful tonight, do you think?
You know, penalty kill is about detail and hard work. I thought our guys were good. It's a dangerous unit. We don't want to do that, especially that many times in the first period. So, but we needed them to be up to the challenge for that. I thought Pekka was excellent in net. We made the saves that we needed to, but I thought we were pretty tight on the penalty kill.
And just to follow up on that, Peter, it felt like your guys were aggressive with their reads and giving them a lot less time and space. You know, Wheeler especially and Bufflin. Is that by design, or you're always trying to do that? It just
no.
Went wetter,
I mean, I don't think you can give this team, whether it's 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. I mean, it seems like when we get burned, we're giving them too much. So, I think our guys did a good job just recognizing that, and they were able to. Certainly on the penalty kill, take time and space, get the reads that they needed, block the shots that they needed, get the clears that they needed. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but I don't think you want to give this group from Winnipeg too much time.
When you're killing 6 minutes in a span of 8.5, how taxing is that?
It is taxing. It's a good point. I mean, I got players that need to get on the ice too. I mean, it's not just about the guys that are getting taxed. It's about the guys that are sitting on the bench, and now, you know, Mike Fisher comes out in the middle of that as well, so we lose a penalty killer. So now you're moving things around, but it's just not. It doesn't create for good flow on the bench at all. We got through it. I thought we did a good job getting through it and faced with a little bit of adversity, so that was good. But you're right, the guys that are taxed, the defensemen that keep going out there, your 4 to 6 penalty killers that keep going out there, but it's the guys that are sitting on the bench and kind of waiting to play the game too. They're out of it now as well.
Peter, do you have an update on Mike Fisher, by the way?
I don't.
We've sort of run out of superlatives to describe Philip Forsberg and the goals that he scored in this postseason. To be able to do that in this particular game, how have you seen him elevate his game in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any question that Phil's a big game player, and tonight the 2 goals that he scored, I think, kind of exemplify that. To go to get a stick, to hold somebody off, to get the stick exchange, still stay on sides, and then muscle your way to have positioning. And the other goal was just a good work by their line, but he had to finish it off, and it wasn't. Well, let's be honest, none of us in this room can make that play. So you got to give him a lot of credit. But not just Phil was good. You do need difference makers like that in a game when you're faced with elimination. But I thought our group in general was good, just with the way we approached the game today, the way we attacked the day.
The first ever Game 7 at Bridgestone Arena on Thursday. What are you expecting from the fans and the spectacle that will be?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's been great. Our arenas, the fans have been there for us. They supported us. We got to keep our eye on the ball here, and we got to stay focused on what we got to do on the ice and make sure that we're ready.
Peter, when you look at Philip's first goal, he had to go get a new stick. How important is it to have a guy like Pete Rogers that can be that quick on the bench?
Yeah, he's quick. I mean, he's been around a long time, but you're right about that too. That exchange sometimes isn't as quick as you think, and he was sharp with it. I mean, it's a big turning point in the game. It's a big part of the game, and both guys were good. He was good at getting it. The exchange was good. Staying on sides, like I said, it's not as easy as you think.
Is it a testament to just how competitive and how closely matched these 2 teams are that neither team has been able to string together 2 wins in a row?
I think so. I mean, listen, they're a good hockey team. We think we're a good team as well. If you weren't thinking that it wasn't going to go 7 games, or probably, I mean, we only missed each other by a couple points in the regular season standings as 1 and 2, and you knew it was just going to be that type of a series. So I think everybody knew that. And that's what it plays out to. It's now, what was a best of 7 is now just simply 1 game. The winner moves on. Go ahead.
Just more. What does it say about Victor Arvidsson that he's able to excel in a game like this? That's big boy hockey.
Yeah, I mean, you see the way he gets banged around out there, and he just keeps going. He goes to the hard areas. He makes the tough plays. But that's not new. That's, to be honest, that's not just today. That's not just because it's a big game. And I said this the other day. It's his makeup of who he is. He plays the game hard, and he plays it fearless, and that's what makes him special. Thank you, guys.
Peter Laviolette of the defending Western Conference champion Nashville Predators. Let's get this out of the way before we get to the highlights, Jordy. Jets pass holders, today's Jets TV Live postgame promo code is HELMET. Log in to jetsrewards.ca, enter the code HELMET to earn 50 Jets Rewards points for tuning in. I was about to ask you if you wore a helmet when you played in the National Hockey League, but I saw from your Twitter profile you did wear a helmet.
Oh, it was a saran wrap.
Yeah?
A Jofa that didn't really protect
You must have felt really safe out there with that helmet on, right?
No, trust me, it didn't save me on many occasions.
You're still witty and you still got it, so that's clearly the
Look what it did to
concussions.
my hair,
Yeah,
though,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it is the helmet. It just digs in there and wears down on the hair. We should not joke about concussions, so I apologize for that one. Let's go to the highlights. First period, it is the Predators silencing the massive amounts of noise that was so loud coming in here. Jets fans just really raising their game every time there is a game in this building. But it is Victor Arvidsson going wide. Dustin Byfuglien takes him into the boards. Arvidsson calling for a penalty, then gets up. Roman Jossi's shot from the point, and there is Arvidsson. Did you think this was high sticking?
No, because it's height of the crossbar,
Right.
right? So it's just because he's sitting on his fan, he doesn't mean the stick was higher than the crossbar. But I wasn't 100% sure, I have to be honest. But, that was reminiscent 100 years ago when Paul Henderson scored. He falls behind the net. Nobody picks him up.
Right.
He sneaks out in front of the net. All of a sudden, he's sitting in front of Maurice, and Maurice's like, where did he come from?
Right.
So it all happened bang, bang, but it sure took the crowd out of the game pretty quick.
Great pass here from Ryan Johansson up the boards to Philip Forsberg, and with Ben Sherratt all over him, Forsberg's managed to get a shot off. Just some great skill here from Forsberg.
Well, you know, I watched Sherrod on this, and especially on the highlight. He did the right thing. He goes back with the player because he's going to get a stick. But I think he loses himself at the blue line. I think Sherrod thought he was offside because he was right at the blue line. But he gives him the bum and pushes him out of the way, and then he's on track for the net.
More pressure from the Nashville Predators in the third period, and it's Forsberg left all alone in front of the net, and that's kind of a head scratcher as well, isn't it?
Well, you know, again, you know, there's a knockdown in front. They go to get the puck. Two guys are there, but, you know, Forsberg, he stands there. And did you see how he puts the stick between his leg to lift it up? I mean, that's so much skill, folks. That's just a bang-bang play. How do you stop that? I mean, it just happens so quick. That puck makes its way to him, and it's in the net.
The Preds would add an empty net goal for them to finalize the score at 4-0. The big boys did show up for the Nashville Predators tonight. That's just the way things are. Victor Arvidsson had, I believe, 2 goals and assists. Roman Josi had 2 helpers. Forsberg had 2 goals and assists, and Ryan Johansson had 2 assists. So in a game where they needed the big players to come through, they did.
Well, and that, you know, that's to be expected. And I wouldn't, you know, I'm not going to be remiss by saying this is what the Jets going to expect when they go to Nashville. The big boys, you know, they often say, folks, you know, your stars have to be the stars, and they're especially going to be needed in Nashville. They've won there before. They know what it takes. It is not going to be easy, but your horses have to be in the race on Thursday, and that just like Nashville's were here tonight. And if you bring if those guys, and I have full confidence that they will, I think we're in for a heck of a game. I'd love to see it to go to overtime, to be honest with you.
And it probably will.
Yeah, it likely will. Yeah.
When you heard with the Jets players talking afterwards, Blake Wheeler, Tyler Myers, just the body language, it just seems like they're ready and kind of felt like this was going to happen, right? And they've already forgot about this game, and now it's Game 7.
Jamie, they've done this all year. Yeah. This is not new to them, you know, and the interesting thing, one of the questions put to Paul Maurice was, you know, are you going to talk to the guys about building, you know, getting ready, the nerves? And he says, we started September 15th. Yeah. You know, and the reality is, folks, that's what makes them such a consistent team. This is over. If it was win, it would have been different. But this is just another game out of the way. They need to win a game, and they need to win it in Nashville. And their focus now is on that game. They'll analyze what they need to do. They'll break it down. They'll show the guys. And then the focus is, what do we need to do Thursday to win that game?
No surprise whatsoever. No team in this series has lost a game back-to-back. Maybe the only surprising thing is the Jets have won 2 games in Nashville, and the Predators have won 2 games here in Winnipeg. What a series it is. What a series it will continue to be. On behalf of Jordy Douglas, I'm Jamie Thomas. This has been the Jets TV Live post-game show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.